Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it is I, the Skull King Beast Mode 9000, kinda back here on the Losers Lounge podcast. I know it's a little strange to hear me at the start of the podcast, but really before it even starts. But I'm working today, so I'm not actually on this episode, but I did want to give my quick predictions. And yes, I'm working on Black Friday. Dear fucking God, wish me luck. But I wanted to give my quick little predictions for the show. First off, the men's WarGames match. I have the heels going over, that being Brock, boo, Drew, Logan Paul, boo, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. I have the heels going over. It would be rad to see my boy CM Punk and AJ Lee win both WarGames matches on the same night, but it ain't gonna happen because I do think the babyfaces are winning the women's side, that being AJ Lee, Charlotte, Boo, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. This women's WarGames match is a little cursed, but I do think the babyfaces are going over. The heel side could have been better put together. The Intercontinental title match, I actually have Dominic beating John Cena because I don't think Cena is going into his final match. I think it's going to be against Gunter, defending the IC title. Just don't see it, so I think Dominic is going to cheat to win. In the women's world title match, I have Stephanie Vaquer going over. I don't think Nikki Bella is going to beat her, so I have Vaquer retaining there. But those are my predictions. Hope y'all enjoy the show, and I hope y'all enjoy WarGames when it does air. I won't say too sweet and peace out, because that's taking HeelBalor's gimmick, but I will say much love always, and yeah, just enjoy the podcast and enjoy
WarGames!
Thank you, Beast, there for that lovely introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Losers Lounge podcast here, wherever you're listening. Before we begin here, I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everyone's enjoyed their Thanksgiving in the US and having a good time and that kind of thing. So, hell yeah, but I mean, considering this time of year, we gotta talk about the Thanksgiving tradition in the wrestling sense. That, of course, being Survivor Series. And this year, once again, it is WarGames. And, oh man, I'll tell you, I know Survivor Series has been a mixed bag over the years, but ever since they welcomed in the WarGames stipulation, honestly, I think Survivor Series has been better than ever, to be honest. But, that's just my opinion on that. But I've got two others who will have, well, their own opinions on that. That, of course, being first up, well, I'll introduce him this time like this. He is one hell of a good man, one hell of a good bloke. He's been through a lot, but he's doing damn well. That, of course, being Sting.
Yes, sir. What's up? It ain't a pay-per-view PLE weekend without us here. And, say that every time, man, especially this weekend, man. So many traditions this week, with the Thanksgiving, with the Black Friday, with the holidays. And you just cap it all off with, Survivor Series and, some bit of football as well, always around this time. It's so much fun. And this is really such a fall tradition that I just love, man. And, hope you guys, have a great time. Hope everyone ate a lot of good food. There's a lot to be thankful for. And, one thing is I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to be on this podcast and record such a amazing thing with people that that I care about and feel mutual. So there's my little things out there. And I just really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this. Everyone's staying safe and having fun to the fullest. And let's record a podcast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with this time of year, there's a lot of traditions as such. I mean, Black Friday in general has become a bit of a thing all over the world, not just the US now. So I guess everybody likes a bargain, and I do like a bargain myself. Even if when it comes to WWE's pay-per-view pricing now, you wouldn't really call it a bargain as such, but I mean, you get 2 cage matches in one show, so I consider that a bargain. But, of course, we can't do it alone here. And, of course, we can't do it without this man, the OG of OGs, the longest reigning member of the group, That, of course, being the heelest of Balors, HeelBalor.
YouTube, the heelest of Balors is back on the channel. The Losers Lounge podcast. Great to join my fellow losers and steeps and Tylor. I hope everyone had an amazing, great Thanksgiving this past week. Mine was very well. Mine went great. Got to spend time with the Steepster. It was fun. We chilled. We had a great time over the phone. Got to hang with my family. It was so much fun. And dang it, there's more where that came from. And of course, we can't have November without
Hey,
Survivor Series.
Shout out to HeelBalor's family. Real big shout outs to them. They made my Thanksgiving with his family. It was awesome. Had to put that out there. To Mama HeelBalor, to the brothers HeelBalor. Send in love, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you out here, man. Always welcome. We can't wait to do it again with you, brother. We love you, man. We can't have the Survivor Series without the Game of Wars, WarGames. Now, again, I've said this before many times on my channel on YouTube, and of course on the Loose Lunch podcast before. Don't be wrong, I like WarGames, but at the same time, don't overdo it. Give it a break. But I'm not gonna lie, the lineup this year does look pretty good. 4 matches, 2 WarGames, a title match, 2 title matches actually. John Cena's final pay-per-view, big pay-per-view wise. We're going in strong, and hopefully we're coming out very strong as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you could say that's all killer, no filler in a way. And I mean, Survivor Series over the longest time, like back in the day, Survivor Series felt like a bit of a filler show in a way. Like even during like the last gasp of the brand warfare type deal. Like I get why people have been asking for brand warfare to come back, but man, if you remember like 2020 and 2021's Survivor Series shows, yeah, there was a reason why we were asking for no more brand warfare. There was a clear reason for that. And look, I get it, WarGames has started to become a bit more of a trope in itself, but honestly, any sort of cage or big hardcore stipulation type match, I'm willing to go for it. Like, look, it may be a trope, but I'm willing to watch a good old-fashioned hardcore style match like that, so hey, it's given Survivor Series some new life going into this decade, and by God, it was the right call to do. And yeah, I don't know if they should be overusing it as such, but as long as we've got it, I'll personally be very happy here. But folks, 4 matches, 2 WarGames, 2 title matches, good lord. No non-titles here, so very much it is going to be very good. So I think we will start off with the title matches, and you know what? Speaking of the Never Seen 17, I think we'll start things off with the Intercontinental title match, as, well, surprisingly, the champion, John Cena, will be defending against the challenger, San Diego's own, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever thought that Cena would be able to pull off the Grand Slam. And considering how, like, this year has been for John, where it's like, yeah, it started out great, sort of thing, but then it just dipped hard, and, well, to me, it kind of make me feel like that, yeah, it was a bit of a mistake to turn him heel in the first place. But still, honestly, this has been quite a rocky time for, like, Cena's career sort of thing, that it's like, hey, at least he gets to end it with a bang. And, well, what a way to end it by completing the Grand Slam and winning the IC title, the last title he ever needed to complete the set. And, you know what? It's interesting how he is given the rub here for his last pay-per-view match to Dominic Mysterio, who himself has been on a bit of a tear. Of course, not just in WWE, but also in AAA. So, very much, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. So, Steep, I'll go with you here. Who have you got between John Cena and Dominic Mysterio?
Yeah, I think, first off, I gotta say, this is a pretty solid lineup, but I think a lot of the matches here are a lot like blatant and obvious. And, I think it's pretty clear and concise that obviously Cena is winning because he's not losing the IC title until his last match, at that Saturday night's main event. So I obviously do have Cena winning this. And I think this is, it's a great way for Dom to get more heat than he already has, and, be insulting Cena and all that. Can you imagine if Dom beat Cena, the reaction he would get, when he's not in his home city kind of thing? If this was anywhere else where he would get ripped to shreds and, talking about how he beat Cena at Cena's last, pay-per-view premium live event type of thing, I think that would be a great way. But, you want to save that title loss for whoever beats Cena the final time, his final match, that last ever time that Cena's shoulders will hit the mat. So I definitely have Cena winning this one. But if you do something with Dom here, and considering it be maybe he would get booed in San Diego as well. It's happened before with wrestlers in their home place. But I really think if this was elsewhere, like if this was Cena's last match, if this was DC or if this was New York or Massachusetts, then they would rip Dom to shreds. I think even San Diego could possibly do that. But yeah, save that title loss for Cena's last official match. So he's definitely winning here.
Definitely an interesting way to go for it there. HeelBalor, who have you got between John Cena and Dominic Mysterio?
Walking into this show saying John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion is something I thought I would never say in this decade, in this century. John Cena hitting the Grand Slam. About time. Congratulations. This is where he does not drop the Intercontinental Championship. Everything that Steve said is pretty much how I'm going to say as well. Dom's great. Dom is great. I know it's his hometown, stuff like that. I would not have Cena lose this match. I know we're saying, the Intercontinental Championship doesn't be involved with Gunther or whoever is the one who's going to be, going facing John Cena. It could be the case. You might be right, but personally, I think the story could be pretty cool. Either way, if John walks in as champ, if John walks out as champ. Personally, I have him, walking in as champ. Personally, I wouldn't have him losing his final pay-per-view match, his final big pay-per-view match. I think I'd have him go into the show, win, beat Dominic. I could see a scenario where Dom does win it back. But I just got John Cena retain the Intercontinental Championship and then losing it at Saturday's main event. Or he could retain the retire as champ, but we shall see. But I got John Cena retaining the Intercontinental Championship right here.
Quite interesting there with that one. I think for me, when it comes to this, honestly, I had thought hard about what John Cena's sort of road to Survivor Series was going to be. I thought Cena was going to be like, he wins the belt Boston, which he did. Then New York, he'd do an open challenge type deal, which that didn't happen. And then I thought Survivor Series, he would do some sort of gauntlet match type deal to have a bunch of people be able to get the chance to face Cena, which that would have been cool, but obviously that is not the case here. And don't get me wrong, I love Dominic. I think Dominic's run as the Mega Champion and IC Champion was fantastic, and he's still awesome as the Mega Champion. If you've been keeping up with a lot of the AAA stuff, then Dominic has just been so over as such, even in Mexico. It's he has done so well to feel like a main event player. It really has been sort of thing, but I don't know. I got a bad feeling when it comes to WWE, where it's they want to have the title go back to Gunther. And don't get me wrong. Gunther's cool and all, but do we really want another 2-year title reign for Gunther? Do we really? Because if Cena retains here, that's gonna be the case. And to be honest, knowing WWE, my heart would say Dominic Mysterio, but my head is going for John Cena to retain. Full on. I do see John Cena retaining the belt here just because WWE wants to put the belt back on Gunther, even though that would be the wrong call, so I do see that being the case. However, here's something that I think we haven't really brought up yet. Rey Mysterio. Yeah, because, like, Rey Mysterio, obviously, he's starting back up his feud with Dominic type deal here. So, I think, do we think that Rey is going to help out Cena in this match to stop Dominic?
Yes.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
if Dom tries to cheat, or if other members of the Judgment Day try to show up.
Yeah, there's that scenario too, and Ray getting the big pop, in his hometown. Of course, Dominic as well. And it would lessen the blow of I guess Cena win, because I don't think people are gonna boo Cena. It's his last pay per view event. I think he's gonna go over the bang. Having Rey Mysterio, oh, Cena would win because of Rey. I mean, obviously, duh. Um, Regardless or not, I could definitely see Rey Mysterio having a big moment in this match, helping Cena retain the title.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, Rey is going to be on AAA programming for probably, I don't know how long or so, sort of thing. I got a feeling that we are probably building towards Rey versus Dominic being for the Mega Championship. Like, I got a feeling that's probably going to be the story they're telling. Rey winning a title he's never won in his career in the Mega Championship, so I mean, I get it. AAA and WWE, they kind of, well, they're owned by the same company. It's just that they kind of, I don't know what sort of can you put AAA stuff with WWE stuff in, but you know what? I'm intrigued to see how that goes. I'm intrigued to see how that plays out as such, but yeah, I'm a little bit nervous when it comes to this, especially considering Cena's last match potential sort of thing, but you know what? My head is saying Cena because the company probably wants him to drop the belt to whoever he faces in his last match. So, yeah, even though I would prefer Dominic, I will be going for Cena with this one. But, well, speaking of title matches, this one. I mean, this one, I don't think anyone would have predicted as such, but considering the story beats, yeah, this was one that was coming from a mile away. It is for the Women's World Championship, and it is the champion, Stephanie Vaquer, taking on Nikki Bella. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer winning the championship after the belt was vacated a while back. And Vaquer so far has been a great champion. Like, she has really held her own. And it's like, she's been in the company for, at this point now, over a year. And she has impressed. Like, she really has. And to be able to, like, from your TV debut sort of thing, be able to say, oh, I won 2 world titles since my TV debut, that's gotta be, like, a first. That's gotta be a first to hold 2 world titles in the span of a year. Like, that is just impressive as such, sort of thing. But, yeah, I mean, it's been really good for her. Now, Nikki Bella, on the other hand, well, not gonna lie, I don't think anyone expected Nikki Bella to come back for a proper run, but, well, she has, and she's actually fit in pretty decently with the Modern Crop-A-Town. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, she's definitely, like, she is showing some signs of, like, well, obviously your age and ring rust sort of thing, but she's definitely held her own there when it comes to them on talent sort of thing and helping to put them over as such. It's interesting how they decide to give her a title match here, but you know what? Considering the story that they've been telling, you know what? I think that's a fair way to go for it, considering, like, Vaquer and Bella, they were put together as kind of like a bit of an act, kind of like a pairing sort of thing for a little bit, and then Nikki decided to turn her back, so, yeah, but, HeelBalor, I'll go with you first for this one. Who have you got with Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella?
Honestly, this should be a very entertaining match. Nikki Bella being back in the company is pretty cool. Her return at the Royal Rumble at number 30 was nice. Her match with Becky Lynch at Clash in Paris was very fun. And the heel turn a few weeks later on Stephanie Vaquer, obviously, while not shocking, was still pretty cool to see. The bitch is back. That's what she said. The division, some of that, and Divas division, that kind of stuff. With that, the era that she held Revolution and stuff like that. is back for this storyline. You know, obviously we saw the heel turn coming. It was still pretty cool. Stephanie's been carrying us up very well as champ. I have been enjoying the reign so far. I saw her second title defense, I believe. So that's not really saying. I saw a trap match there. It's a second title defense. That's not really saying much, but still, pretty cool seeing her having the belt. This is obviously going to end up with it could be like a scenario where Nikki could win, but I would not mind that at all. But Stephanie's going to probably retain the title. So Stephanie Vicur. I am happy to see Nikki Bella back in the company, so it's pretty cool. Either way, I'm fine with it, but I got Stephanie Vicur winning.
Oh yeah, definitely some good thinking there. And Steep, who have you got between Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella?
I am a huge Nikki fan. I love Nikki Bella, dude. Ever since she's been back, and ever since I've been a fan of Nikki since like 2010, 11 ish, around there for a while. Ever since the Divas era, and I really want something for her, and I really want this to be the pay-per-view that she does. And I know that the chances are slim and odds are small, but I don't root against my faves, and I'm not going to pick even the obvious answer. Even if it was the most obvious thing in the world, I'm not going to pick against my faves. So despite the probability not being the highest, I'm going to go with Nikki.
Really? That is very interesting to see there.
Not bad, not bad.
All I want for Christmas is for Nikki to be champ.
Yeah.
Like, how long of a reign do you think she would have if she was to win the belt?
Eternity till she can't go anymore. The rest of her, whatever remains of her career.
So, basically breaking her own records.
Yeah, but at least until closing the year out to maybe the Rumble-ish or even Mania, I take just one last title reign, and that's her final hurrah out the company. And then she could lose it to the winner of the Royal Rumble. I don't know, Roxanne at Mania.
Or like Liv Morgan, for instance.
Lives another one. Whoever, we'll get to that when we get to that when time comes in January. But just I want her to be changed at least until the spring-ish Mania time.
That's an interesting way to look at it for sure there. For me, I think with this story, it's been quite an interesting one. Like, not gonna lie, I never expect to be invested in a Nikki Bella storyline, but I think Stephanie Vaquer has really held her own with this. Like, she has definitely felt like right place, right time to be given the world title sort of thing. And honestly, this story has been pretty fun, and not gonna lie, I would like to see it go on for a little longer. Maybe for the first Raw of the New Year sort of thing. I don't know what they do for that, but still, I've got Stephanie Vaquer winning because it's it's obvious, but it's one that does make a lot of sense, sort of thing, when it comes to that. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Nikki won the belt back. I would be like, oh, cool, nice to see it, sort of thing. But I feel like logically with that, Stephanie Vaquer is probably going to take it, but still should be quite interesting there to see how that goes. Oh boy, but now we get to the meat and potatoes. We get to the good stuff, folks. Because it's 2 rings, 1 cage. Oh, it's WarGames. And this year, the 2 WarGames matches actually might be some of the most stacked matches in the history of the stipulation. So, I think we'll start things off with the women's WarGames match. It is the team of Becky Lynch, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, Lash Legend, and Nia Jax taking on the team of the returning AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. Wow. Talk about an all-star match. you've got mix of different competitors from like different eras and that kind of thing. It's like, it's the ultimate sort of like dream match type scenario here with this year's women's war games. Like, and all the intertwining stories sort of thing. Like, you got the story of the women's tag titles there with the Kabuki Warriors, with Lash and Nia, with Alexa and Charlotte, and with Io and Rhea. And then you add on top of that the story of AJ and Becky. It's like, oh, we are cooking here with this one. This might be probably the most hype I have really been with like a women's war games match, because the talent field, it's insane, and it's like, it's the most stacked the match has been. Not to mention, like, for a lot of these competitors, it is their first war games, so it's gonna be a lot of fun here for sure. Steve, what do you make of this year's women's war games?
It has been, something to look forward to. It's been a build, I'll say that. Definitely stacked, as you said, and definitely, the women and men's. I'm a little bit more like intrigued on uh the individual stories that really come out of this, because it's like there's so many things in this, and you have all these things that are just intertwining together. Same for the men. You have so many stories that are just intertwining together, and now you're gonna lock them into this cage, and it's these two cages. Oh no, excuse me, one cage for like two rings. I'm all confused, but you know what I mean. But uh, you're gonna lock them into this, and you're gonna have all this play out. And really, war games, a lot comes out of war games. You have the match pace, you have the quality, you have the stories, you have the, everything just kind of just builds up in that match. And even war games is just the perfect spot to really intertwine so many things into one, and
Like,
it really
sorry to
does say a
interrupt you
lot.
there with that. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that's a good thing to bring up as well. Would you think that with war games, it's kind of technically now, like, in a way, the start to the road to Mania? In a way?
Yeah, because a lot of things really, happen there, and it really does help for the long term. As far as this, I've been intrigued. I'll say I've definitely been hooked and entertained with a lot of things playing out, especially in the women's one. And I think, especially with the AJ Lee being back, that still has a set in for a lot of people, and I can understand. But get into my prediction. I'm gonna leave it at. I'm gonna go with the team of the Rhea Ripley team on this one, because I have a different prediction when we get to the men's one, but especially because that's the team that AJ Lee's on, so I definitely think that you it'll be upsetting if she was on the team that aren't the winners.
Quite interesting there. HeelBalor, what do you make of this year's women's war games?
There is so many stories, like Steve said, that come out of this match. So many bodies in here so many like let's say with the men's match, you have so many bodies in here. You have so many stories, so many dynamics you can come out with this. You have Rhea Ripley and Io, who've been embroiled with the Kabuki Warriors storyline. You have Becky Lynch and AJ Lee with their storyline. You have Charlotte and Alexa. Well, their whole thing, I think that's going to come to a breaking point inside this match. I think something's going to happen between those two. Of course, Charlotte walked out, so then walked right back into this team of Rhea Ripley and all of them. And I can honestly see a scenario where Charlotte or anyone on her team maybe turns heel. Be probably Charlotte, because she doesn't trust Rhea Ripley, the storylines, what that the old thing they've been having, these past rivalry and stuff like that. You got Lash Legend, who I don't like at all. You got Nia Jax, who is cool, in my opinion, is improved. You got my girl Bex. She's leading the team. She's pretty cool. Again, her whole rivalry with AJ Lee. Of course, AJ Lee, of course, returning and some of that. You got so many things, like Steve said, to come out of this match. So many things. I'm gonna go with the faces as well, because I got something else planned for the men's. That's all I'm gonna say. I have the faces coming out. Team Ripley.
Oh, that is some good thinking there with that one. Honestly, for me, I am so excited for this match. I think all these ladies, they will put on one hell of a match. I mean, honestly, for me, like with the teams, I mean, the heel team, like Becky being the leader makes so much sense, especially with her sort of character that has become over the last few months sort of thing. Like, it has been just fantastic. Kabuki Warriors, I don't know why, but I get a bit of a chuckle whenever, like, the Kabuki Warriors are on screen, and just Asuka over here being like, "Guy!" It just, it's just so funny. I love that. I don't know why, but I do. Lash Legend, formerly of NXT, formerly of Metaphor. Controversial opinion, but I kinda like Lash. I mean, don't get me wrong, she ain't for everyone, but I mean, I liked Metaphor, so to be honest, like, I'm glad that she's doing decently, and even in, like, the Women's Battle Royal Evolution, we saw that she definitely could impress, so yeah, like, for sure. And, yeah, Nia Jax is Nia Jax. She's always gonna be there in some form of capacity. She's basically the Big Show when it comes to these kind of matches. Oh, we need someone who is larger to be able to take a lot of offense and to do a lot of damaging offense. Yeah, put Nia in the match. Yeah, fair enough there. But the baby faces, this is where I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, AJ Lee coming back, I never thought that would happen. Like, shout out to Court there on TikTok there for the amazing reactions and sort of thing. Because, like, everyone I've seen online just have been so positive when it comes to this return. It's awesome. And as someone who, well, was watching regularly in, like, 2014 sort of thing and seeing, like, AJ Lee competing sort of thing, yeah, honestly, I'm glad that she's back. Absolutely. Alexa and Charlotte, I love their dynamic, sort of like Alexa slowly turning Charlotte goth. Like, I don't know why I love that, but I do. It's just so much fun. And of course, the love sort of story between Io and Rhea has been fantastic. I fucking love it. It's just so damn good. I think with this match, I've actually got a bit of a different scenario, because, like, I know you said there, HeelBalor, that, like, Charlotte would turn heel. I actually have the opposite of that happening, because, well, I've got Team Becky winning. I've got Team Lynch winning. But that's because Alexa is going to turn on Charlotte, and Alexa is joining the Wyatt Six. Because it's kind of been something that has been theorized and speculated for so long that I feel like now is probably the time to do it. Because, like, we've been waiting for, like, the sixth member of the Wyatt Six to truly be revealed, and I think we're finally going to get that with Alexa Bliss. I think we are going to get that moment, and honestly, it's gonna be insane. But overall, this match is going to be incredible. But yeah, I've got Team Becky winning. Like, I get, like, heels winning ain't the greatest sort of thing, but I mean, come on, it's kind of traditional when it comes to WarGames at times to have the heels win, so yeah, fair enough. Might as well, sort of thing. But if you thought that match was stacked, oh, take a look at the main event, because this might be the most stacked men's WarGames we've ever seen, folks. 10 men WarGames match. It is CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and the Usos taking on Drew McIntyre, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, for some apparent reason, and, Brock Lesnar. With, Paul Heyman in the corner sort of thing. But, yeah. Bit of an elephant in the room here when it comes to Brock Lesnar. We haven't really talked about Brock here on the podcast sort of thing. Because, like, every time, like, he's been involved with something, we were pretty much, like, busy and that kind of thing. Like, we had production issues at the time sort of thing. So, yeah. But still, I think overall when it comes to this match, this is one of the most stacked matches here on this show, on this card. And to be honest here, I think this could have a lot of implications for the future of the company, especially with some of the names here in this matchup. So, HeelBalor, I'll start with you here. What do you make of the men's WarGames match?
You know, the stacked. This is such a cliche term, but the stacked, amount of people in this match is insane. The world champ CM Punk, the WWE champion Code Man, the Usos, and Roman Reigns against the Visions, Braun Breaker, my guy, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Big Bad falling on my ass when my power goes off, Brock Lesnar. Yes, you didn't know Brock Lesnar fell on his ass this past week. It was freaking hilarious. So,
Yes, it was awesome.
It was funny. It was funny. Just like you said, bro, there's so many stories coming into this and going out of this that we could be here all day and all night talking about this, heading into the show itself. When coming out of the show, it could be on here as well. Might as well take the show live. I don't freaking know. In all seriousness, Punk, Cody, the Usos, and Roman, you're cool. Don't get me wrong, you're cool. You don't stand a chance in this match. You just don't. You got Braun Breaker, the young upstart, Bronson Reed, the young upstart as well, Logan Paul, a legit badass, Drew McIntyre, the Scottish badass psychopath, and then falling on my ass when my power goes off, Brock Lesnar, who is a badass as well. The stories that come out of this match, I think, the big one this past week, Roman Reigns told Cody and Punk, I'm coming for a championship. He never specifically said what championship. He just told them that he's coming for a championship. And Punk's like, you talking to me? You talking to Cody? And Roman's like, well, you better figure that out on your own. I think there's going to be implications in this match. I think there's going to be teases in this match of lots of things to come for WrestleMania. A lot of things come for the future with championship matches and implications. Jey Uso teasing his dark side and so that I think is going to come into play. I could see a scenario where Jey Uso turns on his team and just finally lets his demons loose and just goes ragged and goes super kicking everybody else and going insane. Friggin' Cody is just, Cody. Punk's the world champ and all that stuff. You got the other side, of course, the Vision and all that. You might as well change the name at this point, the Vision, because Seth is out with injury, obviously. You might as well change the name at this point. But still, Braun Breaker, my guy, Bronson Reed doing this thing as well. Logan Paul is dangerous as well. Drew McIntyre is dangerous, and Brock Lesnar being locked inside WarGames. That's not a good combination for the face team. Now, does the face team have a chance? A slight chance, they do. But I think in the end, they're going to get mauled and torn apart. And I think in the end, we're going to have Braun Breaker being the one to deliver the final blow to this face team and pin the said champion. Or it could be Brock Lesnar, it could be Drew McIntyre, it could be Bronson Reed, it could be any of the heels. But I got a feeling that big, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got a big feeling that big angle and scenario is going to come out of this. I don't know what it's going to be, but I got this feeling something big is going to end this match and end this night with, holy shit. That's all I'm going to say. I do, on that note, I have the heels winning this match. I have the heels winning because you got just so many outcomes with the heels winning in ports of the faces winning. The last time heels won WarGames was 2022. Coincidentally, not the first time. I believe the main roster had WarGames. So, yeah, that's the last time the heels won was 2022. Might as well give them their win back. I got the heels winning. I got Team Vision picking up the win.
Oh, a lot of planning here when it comes to what it could lead to sort of thing. And it's going to be quite interesting. Steep, what do you make of the men's WarGames match?
Oh, this is where the stories really come into play. As you heard what HeelBalor said, dude, Roman Reigns, Punk, and Cody are not going to coexist at all. There. We know Roman's history with Cody, and Punk's history with Roman. But dude, you look at the Usos. How many times are the Usos gonna split up and get back together and split up and get you? Dude, there's a lot going on, especially with one's always crossing the other. Sometimes it's Jimmy, sometimes it's Jay, sometimes it's whatever that, especially with all that's really gone on with Roman, Jay, and Jimmy over the last couple of years. And dude, it's just there's so many issues that are gonna come out of that team, and there's so much that's really gonna get highlighted, and we're gonna see the issues with them coexisting all together, and that's why division is going over this. And dude, they're gonna be the ones standing tall, especially with with people there, and especially if you want on division, I think either Logan Paul or Brock Lesnar, one of those two should be the ones the winning pin on uh on Cody, on Punk, someone, a fan favorite on the team, on a Jay even, if you really want to set the crowd off. And I think, honestly, at the end of the match, I think who Brock Lesnar is, I think this is going to end with Brock giving the other 9, participants, even his own teammates, he's just going to end up F5ing everybody and be the only one standing.
Oh,
I like that scenario, honestly.
What are we going to call it?
Brock
It's going to be
Lesnar's
a
supposed to be shit.
F5 times 9. It's going to be F45.
Yeah, 45, F's. That's a good one.
F50.
Yeah, this
He's just
a
going to
6-7, I
F5
think.
everybody in the ring, even his own teammates. He's going to F5 all 9 of them.
Yeah, a little F5 Paul Heyman for the heck of it, if you think about it.
Yeah, the F5 payment too. Yeah, make it yeah, just F5 everybody in the ring. F5 the refs, the participants. I don't know.
Yeah.
F5 yourself if you can.
F5 Michael Cole for the hell of it.
But don't F5
Just
Wade
like,
Barrett.
there's so
Wade
much
Barrett
there.
shouldn't be F5'd.
No, he shouldn't. He's cool.
Yeah, Wade's a
Yeah, but
national
I
treasure.
think this exactly. But I think this is legit gonna end with the Vision winning one of 3 people with either Cody, Punk, or Jay. I don't know. I think if you like the fan favorite out of that match, I don't know. Maybe if let's see, maybe Jay's the most over on that team. So if you pin him, you'll probably get the most heat, him or Cody. But and then Brock's just gonna F5 everybody in the cage, and he's gonna be the only one standing. The show's gonna go off the air with Brock's music playing and him just dancing around, being all happy, like you just did an F5 the people you were just working with.
Definitely.
I like that scenario.
Yeah, definitely interesting there with that scenario. Like, really interesting. Oh boy. Well, my scenario, I think, should be quite interesting here. I think you guys may want to hear this in a bit. But, to be honest here, I think with this match, it is looking, stacked. And as we were mentioning, the fact that, with Punk, Cody, and Roman, the fact that Roman's out here snooping world titles out here, he's probably thinking, maybe I would like another 4-year-long title reign. I would like that. And he's out here snooping for belts, it looks like. Don't know what belts, but apparently he's looking for one. Whereas Cody is being Cody, and he wants to kick Drew's ass. Punk obviously wants revenge on the Vision, because of course he does. And the Usos, they're there. At this point, that's what the Usos are being. They're there. They're not the real focus sort of thing for the babyface side sort of thing, even though, Jay is showing a much darker side to himself. Now, will it come out here? I'm not 100% sure. It could, but to be honest, I'm not 100% on that. But the heel side, I think it's quite interesting because Breakker and Brunson, they have been just incredible. I have been saying for the longest time that Breakker is going to be the next face of the company. And I think this is the point where the company's going to finally be like, okay, yeah, let's begin the ascendancy. I think this is the beginning point there in the story for that. Brunson, of course, is Bronson Reed. He's fucking badass. He was able to pin Roman. Not many people have done that in the last few years, so Brunson's just awesome. Brunson is just nobody messes with Brunson. Then we got Drew McIntyre over here, being Drew McIntyre, the social media darling, who really likes to be on social media and is probably secretly friend with a lot of members of the IWC, but Who knows for sure?
He reminds me of someone me and Steve know. Anyways.
Yeah. Of
Ain't that the
course.
truth?
Yeah. Of course, we got Logan Paul over here, the crypto scammer, who for some reason is still involved with this, but, well, now he's technically a part of the Vision. I don't think he's permanently part of the Vision, because it makes no sense to have him with them. But I think he's just here for WarGames. That's it. And then we've got Brock. Oh, yes, we've got Brock. And, well, very much, he has done a lot of stuff. Allegedly, of course, but still, it's like, the fact that Brock Lesnar is being involved in this match sort of thing, like, yeah, I get why he's involved sort of thing. Paul Heyman guy, Paul Heyman's linked with these guys, so sure, Brock's a part of it, but Brock Lesnar doesn't really need to be a part of this sort of thing, and I feel like having Brock Lesnar in this sort of scenario for a thing, you gotta wonder, there's gotta be some people in this match who will feel like they're gonna be overshadowed in a way. In kayfabe, of course. And I think that's how the story's gonna play out here. Because I've got Team Vision winning. I've got the Vision winning the match myself, sort of thing. Because it makes sense. It does. Have the Vision win. Show their dominance, sort of thing. Show that they are ready to dominate. But in terms of who pins who, I think Brum Breakker is going to pin Roman Reigns. I see that being like the start sort of thing of like Breakker's ascendancy sort of thing, and how fitting where like you have the former face of the company getting pinned by the new face of the company sort of thing. Have Breakker pin Roman, establish that dominance being like, oh my god, Breakker just pinned Roman, and have that be a big deal, which could lead into Mania, a Breakker versus Roman match where Breakker does beat Roman, sort of thing. Because that makes sense.
Give me that.
Like, I think that match overall would be perfect for Mania. Like, if Breakker can manage to win the belt before Mania, then it would probably be for the belt sort of thing, but you don't need the belt for that. You just need Breakker to establish himself as the new face of the company by taking Roman out and sending him packing to Hollywood sort of thing, in terms of like the storyline sort of sense and that kind of thing. But post-match, this is where things get crazy. I think after the match, the Vision's all posing, the Vision's quite happy, but then you see in the background Brum Breakker bouncing on the ropes, and then he looks at Brock Lesnar and bang! Breakker spears Lesnar. Breakker just destroys Lesnar there. I don't know how many spears. Like 1 spear, 2 spear, 3 spear. Like, have Paul Heyman be like, no! That's not part of the plan! What are you doing? Type deal. And Breakker, he just destroying Lesnar with everyone else looking on like, what the hell? And that kind of thing. Because I think the overall story, when it comes to establishing Breakker as well, have Breakker be the one to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I think this is the starting point that builds to that match. Because I think that makes sense. Brum Breakker's got like everything sort of thing that was like at prime Brock Lesnar. So it's like, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you guys think that would make sense?
The match itself
yeah,
would be very
dude.
fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see?
Breakker's definitely the one to retire Brock Lesnar. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's really nobody who fits the scenario. There's really nobody else. I mean, people say Roman Reigns. I may see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm good. Braun Breakker and Lesnar. Oof, that's a dream match for me.
If it was supposed to be Roman would have retired Brock like 3-4 matches ago.
Exactly.
and then you've got like
Braun Breakker, future.
I mean, then people are also saying like, oh, Gunther should retire Lesnar, but I think Gunther should face Lesnar at Mania and have that be the Mania match or Lesnar.
I'm down for that.
I don't think you should have Gunther retire Lesnar. I think Gunther should just, he doesn't need to. Gunther's Gunther.
Yeah, that's the thing with like, especially with like Gunther, he's already the favorite to supposedly retire Cena, and it's like, I know what people are gonna say. Look, Randy was an exception. I don't think the same person should be retiring all these people. With Randy, it was his thing. Randy was young. He wanted a lot. Randy
Yeah.
was, he's the legend killer. He's always been that.
Yeah.
Even into his career today, Randy's supposed to be sending these people, out their way. That was Randy's thing. And if you want to recreate that, you really got to put it in someone. All right, who's our next? I don't want to say next because I don't want to say, but like, who could
Who's
be the
next?
Think who could be the legend killer? Who could? You shouldn't have this one person constantly retiring these people if they're not going to amount to something like that. Breaker
Yeah.
could somebody do that. Gunther possibly could, but like you don't want to put all that on. Randy carried that. Randy was able to go with it. There's not a lot of people that could go with it today. Breaker's one of them. Gunther might be another one.
Yeah, you made a good scenario there, especially with like the carrying out of like the legend status. Randy had that, I hate using this term, Randy had that aura to him that not many people have. Randy was young, Randy was fresh. Some people are saying Braun Breaker's young, Braun Breaker's fresh. Yeah, I'm a year older than Braun Breaker. So the dude is young. But it's like, would you want to put all that pressure on his shoulders to be like, bigger pressure on his shoulders? Like, he's young, future main eventer, future world champion making, probably by 2026. He's got plenty of time. Gunther, like, he retired Goldberg. He probably is going to be the guy to retire Big Match John. Do you, like Steve said, do you really need to have all this pressure on like Gunther to be the guy? Like, you got so many people with that scenario and that status. Like, there's better people there. Braun's the future. Hell, all of them are the future.
I've said
But
this before. Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
Like, look,
Dude, Melo needs something big. Oh, sorry,
he
Tyler.
does.
Like, to be honest, I was about to say that, like, while I'm not the biggest fan of Melo myself, I can at least understand the point of giving that to Melo, at least.
Dude, folks is gonna look at me weird, and I know this comment section's gonna be filled with, oh yeah, stupid this and that. Dude, I've for years now picked Melo to be the one to retire The Rock. I've long said that.
That'd be so much fun.
Ooh. Yeah. I feel like that probably would be a way better match than Rock versus Roman.
And that's
Rock
another
versus
thing.
Roman. Yeah. Roman's
at that point. Roman's at that point. Roman, you need somebody to retire you. Why should you be retiring anybody? Roman, you're at the door, so it's like, whoever retires Roman, I think it's gonna be within the family. I think like it's probably gonna be Jay or something.
Or like a Jacob Fatu.
That could work.
Jacob Fatu. Give it to
Jacob Fatu could work.
Give it Solo. I know what fans about to say Solo. Because honestly, when you beat the tribal chief, you become the tribal chief.
Yep.
So give it to Solo.
Solo's great. I know we're all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're all over the place, but like, this is being said right now as we speak. There are like
it all ties back to that conversation. It all ties back to that conversation of who's retiring Lesnar, who's Breaker, Gunther, who's retiring Cena. It all ties back to this Survivor Series thing. That's why we're saying this WarGames is going to dictate the future of people's careers. Romans, Brock's, Cena. Everything's really going to come out of this, dude. There's more people hanging it up than we think.
Yeah, and it's like
there's a lot of stories coming out of this show.
Like, this year's show feels more important of a Survivor Series than many have over the years. Like, it really has. Like,
it feels like the stakes are higher, but there's no stakes at stake, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, the storyline last year was like, could everyone coexist? Could everyone do this and that? You had CM Punk pie facing, all the wrestlers last year. I think it was Bronson Reed or was Jacob Fatu last year. You had the whole scenario with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Could they work together, that kind of stuff? And it's going to be the same scenario here, but like the stakes seem a lot bigger, especially heading out of this show, because you have, very big, and this goes to the women's match too. This applies to the women's match as well. Like with the storylines gonna come out of this, AJ Lee and Becky, Rhea Ripley and Io against the Kabuki Warriors. You got so many scenarios coming out of this match with both scenarios and both cage matches. That nobody knows where they're heading with this, and that's the intriguing part. Is like, how are you gonna end this show? How are you gonna because if it doesn't be able like everyone, all the heels just stand tall, that'd be cool and great. I think a big shot factor is gonna be needed to be like, holy shit, we have to watch Raw next week. And potentially watch SmackDown, which I don't give a shit about SmackDown. It's about SmackDown. Anyways, you gotta get a holy shit moment, like, to end this. Like, you don't have to every show, but like again, you have the whole damn like CM Punk's first promo was world champion. He was interrupted by Logan Paul. You got snares with that. You got the whole dynamic with the Usos and Jey Uso potentially going down this dark path. The Usos teaming with Roman Reigns. Really think about this. The Usos team with Roman Reigns, who, by the way, were the same ones who made Cody Rhodes' life a living hell, leading into WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40. The same person, Roman Reigns, same person who had issues with CM Punk this year.
And like, keep in mind as well
I'm
sorry to interrupt there. Keep in mind with like Roman. Keep in mind with Roman. People may think that Roman's a good guy sort of thing, but like, Roman is still Roman. Roman is still acting like a dick to everyone. He's still acting
Roman
like
still
a heel.
hasn't apologized to Jey Uso. I'm just saying, Roman Reigns still hasn't apologized. I mean, you could say, oh, he doesn't need to. That's completely fair. But you know what? Roman Reigns hasn't apologized for his said action. So Roman Reigns is technically still an asshole.
Yeah, he's still a heel. Like, but he's still getting cheered, sort of thing. And it's like, this show overall is going to dictate the next few years of the company, in my opinion. This is going to dictate what the future of this company will look like. Because obviously with Cena going away, there's going to be a lot of people out there who may not be interested as such in the company for a little while, sort of thing. But I think with this show, it is going to take the stand of like, okay, what are we building towards for the next few years? What is the next few years of WWE going to look like? I think this show is going to be the apex to establish what we will be seeing in the future. And I think that's what makes this show more important than any other Survivor Series in a long time. It just, I don't know, guys. There's something about this year's show that it feels big. It really does. But holy shit, that was quite a long one, folks. I mean, gotta say, Survivor Series this year is stacked. I mean, 4 matches, yes, but overall, stacked. And I think you guys are gonna be very excited, and we are very excited too. So, definitely worth getting whatever way you watch the WWE on to watch this show. Oh, man, but honestly, we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope all of you have enjoyed this weekend sort of thing, and we hope you enjoy Survivor Series, because it is going to be great. Oh, God, and you know what? I just realized, guys, we've got a lot more shows to get through after this, because, my God, I mean, NXT, they've got their big pay-per-view coming up soon. We got WWE going back to Saturday night's main event, this time with a tribute show involving the NXT talent as well, which is going to be even crazier. And then, of course, AEW's got World's End as well. Like, I'll tell you, folks, the rest of this year, we've got show after show after show, and we are going to cover as much as we can. Ain't that right, guys?
You know it.
Yes, sir.
You're damn right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, folks. You do not want to miss it. So, who'd like to, do the ending for this week?
Let's give it to Steve.
All right, then,
Oh,
Steve.
no, I'm good.
Oh.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
Are you good? All right. I'll take it if you want me to. I'll do it.
All right, then. Well,
Yeah,
take it away, Will.
Yeah, let the OG do it.
All right. All right, why not? We are the losers in this Star Lounge. I'm the heels to Balors. That's Steeps. That's Tylor. We are the losers, and this is our lounge. We will see you all on the next one. Please sweet the like button down below. Subscribe videos like this one, and follow us on our social media accounts and that kind of stuff. We will see you all on the next one. Enjoy Survivor Series. Too sweet, and peace out.